Buildings, transport, industries and services, agriculture. As much as we rely on all these, the way we have been managing them over the past decades has been harmful to the environment and to us. Cities have a negative impact on climate change. At the same time, they are affected by it. Air and water pollution, waste, heat waves, floods, and droughts pose challenges to our city's economic development, and more importantly, to our quality of life. In Europe and the world, cities haven't been waiting for someone else to make decisions for them. They are taking action. Over the past years, they've been reducing their greenhouse gas emissions to mitigate climate change and have been adapting to its unavoidable effects. Malaga in Spain is working with the residents of one of its most deprived neighborhoods to refurbish social housing and private buildings. The city has installed a cogeneration system that produces hot sanitary water and has helped to insulate roofs and walls. As a result, people save money and energy and are better protected against extreme heat and cold. Gdynia in Poland centrally controls its traffic lights and adjusts them to traffic flow. This helps the city reduce traffic jams and emissions during rush hours. Road signs provide up-to-the-minute information about current traffic conditions and warn drivers of dangerous weather-related road conditions. In Lisbon, Portugal, the City Council is turning former brownfields into urban allotment gardens. These green spaces absorb carbon emissions, retain excess rainwater, and can help cool down the city, making it more resilient to heavy rains, water scarcity, and heat waves. This is what adaptation to climate change really means. These are just a few examples of the solutions developed by cities that have joined the Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy. As a signatory, a city commits to decreasing CO2 emissions by 40% by 2030, increasing its resilience by adapting to the impacts of climate change, cooperating with peers to improve access to secure, sustainable, and affordable energy. Being part of the Covenant of Mayors community offers enhanced international visibility to the city's commitments and actions, tailored support to the preparation of an action plan, extensive information about funding and financing possibilities, and opportunities to network, share, learn, inspire, and get inspired. Let's build sustainable, climate-resilient, and vibrant cities together. Join us in the Covenant of Mayors community.
Hi, good evening. I think you got a little introduction of the Covenant of Mayors. We are very glad to be a partner of ChangeNOW. And I think I can say on behalf of the mayors and the city representatives who are there today that they had an inspiring day. So thank you for that. I think the video pretty much spoke for itself, but I would like to add two things. The first thing is 2018 is the 10th anniversary of the Covenant of Mayors. And during those 10 years, the Covenant cities have reduced their CO2 emissions by 23% in average. So that's pretty impressive. And every day they take bold decisions to provide their citizens with a healthy environment, which is what matters at the end. There are big cities, capital cities, there are also tiny villages, but they all make the difference. So I would invite you as citizens to really encourage your local governments to join this movement. And the second thing I wanted to say is that actually today we have two cities that are already in the Covenant of Mayors community and that decided to set higher ambitions. So first, the city of Amsterdam decided to take the commitment to reduce its CO2 emissions by 55% by 2030 compared to the 1990 levels. This is really ambitious. And we also have, thank you for them, they will speak in a minute. And we also have the city of Ramnicu Valcea in Romania that will take in a minute the engagement to present the covenant commitment to reduce CO2 emissions by 40% by 2030 to their next municipal council before COP24. So I think the floor is now for them, and I invite them to join me on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, can I have, let's work this out. So can I have Marieke van Doorninck, the Deputy Mayor of Amsterdam?
That's me.
That's you. I'm like, I didn't get names before this. This is perfect. And then we've got Eusebiu Veteleanuat, who is the Vice Mayor of Ramnicu Valcea. Almost got there. It's very difficult. So before we get to the official ceremony, I'd love to hear a little bit from both of you as to why you've chosen to take these commitments.
Thanks very much. Well, I'm very honored to be here and for Amsterdam to sign and to pledge to our new goals that we set for ourselves. As you may know, Amsterdam is a city which is built on 3 meters below sea level. Most of the country of the Netherlands is several meters under sea level. And that means climate change means a lot for our country. But we are a wealthy and rich country, so what we do if the sea level rises, we build dikes. That's what we do. We've been doing that for ages, because we can. But there's many places in the world that can't do that. They cannot adapt to climate change, but we can do. And what we see is that there are so many places where actually the soil will be no longer fertile for people to grow their crops on. What we see that in the Pacific, islands will disappear, and that actually the people living there will have to leave the land of their ancestors because their islands will be swallowed. And I think that we have a responsibility towards that, and that's what Amsterdam wants to take, because I think climate action is action on solidarity. That's what we're doing, and I think the way we have been producing and consuming for so long is actually taking away the livelihoods of people and animals on all places in the world. Yesterday, I was told that that the government of the Netherlands has decided not to have their climate agreement this year. The climate agreement that we need as a country to obey to the Paris climate agreements. And they will say next year, because it's too difficult. And of course, I'm extremely disappointed. But next to that, I'm even more determined to do it as a city. And I need you, as my fellow mayors and deputy mayors, even more to have an international solidarity together to work on climate action. Because if our national governments won't do it, we as cities will.
That deserves a round of applause.
And the funny thing is what I've learned today, and what of course I already knew, where our national government sees it as an obligation, as a burden, I think we as cities know that it's not a burden, it's an opportunity to free ourselves from our fossil addiction that we have. And it gives us the opportunity to actually work on sustainable, circular economies in our own cities that actually make our cities so much more lively, so much more equal, with so much more solidarity. And I'm very happy to sign again for that today. Thank you.
Fantastic. Delighted to have you here. Eusebiu.
Thank you for the invitation on this stage. I am very proud to be here. I want to write the mayor message for this summit. I can go there?
Yes.
Thank you. Dear mayors and vice mayors, dear representatives of the signatories of the Covenant of Mayors, ladies and gentlemen, I represent the municipality of Ramnicu Valcea, Romania, a town that has been permanently open to cooperation at international level and the Covenant of Mayors signatory since 2008. In this special year, when my country, Romania, celebrates its centennial and my town its 630th documentary attestation, I would like to congratulate to all Covenant of Mayors community for its 10th anniversary. We are very proud to be part of this family. By signing this symbolic commitment, we want to share the whole world that we stand for the Covenant of Mayors values. We want a healthier environment, we want greener jobs for our residents, and we want a higher quality of life in our city. We want a cleaner town for our children, and we are prepared to take all the necessary measures in order to achieve these goals. Because we have to act today if we want a better life tomorrow. We are aware of the fact that the global fight against climate change will not succeed without the city's commitments. So, let's join our force so that all the European cities will report the implement of the European Union 40% greenhouse gas reduction target by 2030. Thank you very much for your attention.
So I'd like to invite our photographer to come to the front whilst we go through the official process of making signatures. So firstly, let's take this out, because it does help if we can actually see the documents. Step to the side. I'm not sure. Is there another one? Can we come up with the photographs? I'm not sure. There's only one up here. Oh, both signatures go on the same one. Okay. Ah, here we go. Fantastic, there we go. Do you mind bringing the sign up so we can get ready for the photos? So I'm also going to invite Santiago to the stage as well so that we can get a group photo at the end of this ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, I kind of feel like this deserves a round of applause. This is pretty big. Some pretty big commitments that have been made here right today. See, even your arms are flashing. It's pretty cool. You didn't realize, huh? Not drinks tokens, Papes. Not drinks tokens. Oh, that you still need it?
Yeah, we will still need it.
Okay, so maybe they are still drinks tokens.